Isaiah chapter number 40. This would be a chapter of prophecy. In verse 3, we're going to be reading a lot. We're not going to be dealing with the whole chapter, but I want to read a lot of the chapter. Verse 3 says, we'll start there. The voice of him, and this would be a prophecy of the messenger of God coming, which would be John the Baptist. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Chapter 40, verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Verse 7. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the Spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. The grass withereth and the flower fadeth, but the word of the Lord shall stand forever. Skip down to verse 10. Behold, the Lord will come with a strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and the work is before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are young. Verse 12, who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted the heaven with a span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in balance? Next question, who hath directed the Spirit of the Lord, or being his counselor, hath taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the paths of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as of a very little thing. Verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity. Verse 18, to whom then will you liken God? Or what likeness will you compare unto him? The workman melteth the graven image, and the goldsmith spreadeth it over with gold, and casteth silver chains. He that is so impoverished that he hath no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have you not known? Have you not heard? Have it not been told of you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundation of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens and as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in, that bringeth the princes to nothing, and he maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. Yea, they shall not be planted, yea, they shall not be sown, yea, their stalk shall not take root in the earth, and he shall not also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble. Okay. Same question, to whom then will you liken me? Or shall I be equal, saith the Lord, saith the Holy One. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one faileth. Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest thou, O Israel, my way is hid from the Lord, and my judgment is passed over from our God? Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. And here's a verse every one of us love to read. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with the wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Let's pray and ask the Lord to bless. So, my Father, thank you for everyone that's been able to come today, everyone that came out. I pray that you bless this morning in our service, you bless your word and go out and touch hearts. Heavenly Father, I pray for the services that are in Murfreesboro right now with all of our young people and with our pastor and with Chris and all the adults that went. I just pray that you be with Brother Rice as he brings their message and that you'd speak through him. I know he's a faithful servant. I pray you guide his words, that our young people would come back. I pray for them throughout the whole week. You'd speak to their hearts and they'd come back just rejuvenated and ready to serve in this local church, in this ministry. Pray for this thought today that you'd help my mind to focus and that everyone just listen. I just pray for those that are still coming in. You'd be with them now. Meet with us this morning in Jesus' name. You remember when you first got saved? I heard you song service and preach at the same time. It's always nice when you see a new Christian, when you see somebody who's new to the faith and they just are learning things of the Bible and everything is just so new to them. Have you ever seen the glow on somebody's life when here's a person that they lived an awful life and they had nothing to stand for, nothing to live for, no purpose in existence. There was really nothing to do. It was just a boring, miserable, day-by-day existence. And then they found out that God loved them. They found out that God had a son and that his son had paid for all the sins that they had committed, and their eyes just kind of opened and they realized that God had saved them, and everything in the world just kind of glows. Do you remember when you first got saved? I don't know if you were a little tiny child, but I remember I think it was 18, and it's just a couple years ago. I was 17. That was about 7 years ago now, and I remember everything just looked brand new. It was amazing to know that everything had a reason and everything had a purpose, and it was all a good purpose, and it was all leading up to something better. You know, and I was excited to serve God. I remember I started memorizing scriptures. I was living in a place. I had bunk bed, and I'd tape up all these verses, and I'd memorize like 50 verses a week. I'd forget them. I didn't know what they meant, but you know, I'd quote them to people, and I couldn't understand what I was quoting, but I knew I had all the Bible in my head that I could, and like I said, I didn't know how the stuff memorizing meant. But the point was there was a great zeal that I had when I got saved. And I'm sure there was a great zeal in your life. But when you're a baby Christian, you surrender your life totally to the Lord, and you just want to give it all to Him, and you're just excited about serving God. There's this passion about you. Everything kind of slips away. But as time goes on, we get a little knowledge in our head. We get a little proud, and we kind of achieve something for God that some other people didn't achieve. We're so committed to the Lord, and and this person, he never did what I did, and God saved me from a whole lot of stuff. And hey, girl, want that? But that's what she's looking for. I remember when the Lord had saved me, and I'm going to find out what He deals with every service.
Take the battery out.
I did already. I did that before she got it. When I got saved, and I had this great zeal, but there came a point. There comes a point in a lot of Christians' lives that they grow comfortable. They grow comfortable. We like I said, we achieve some things. I'm trying to get my train of thought back, and we begin to look at everything, not the same anymore. We look at those past experiences that God did for us, and that's small, but I'm going on to bigger and greater things. We begin to forget the simple things. We begin to forget about what happened when we got saved, what God did for me, and what God did for my life, and all the different things. And it doesn't seem to mean everything it used to mean. And it's not always bad though when we change. Your desires change sometimes. And you move on in life, and it's not always a negative thing that we're not as focused as we used to be on a certain thing. Because a child is very simple, but sometimes it is negative. Sometimes when you're focused on something and then you get sidetracked, it's because our heart changed, isn't it? It's because something inside changed within us, and now we got to figure out what happened. You think of Judah. You think of the nation of Israel in the book of Jeremiah. If you read all throughout what was going on in Judah, Jeremiah would come up to Judah and he would say, Judah, you're not right with God. You need to get right. There needs to be some changes. God's going to judge you. God's going to come, and I'm telling you what the Lord told me to say. And you know, they turned around, you know, they look at the temple of the Lord, and Pastor said this before, you know, they see the temple of God, and they see, you know,